Hey, I keep seeing all these posts on the internet, pop punk groups that I'm in and stuff like that, about this Machine Gun Kelly dude, so I'm gonna check out his album and let you know what I think. Hey, so I'm Moose. I put out content. I put out content under the alias Punk Cover Moose. I'd never heard of Machine Gun Kelly before, never even heard this album. I guess he used to be like a rapper kind of dude, and now he released a pop punk album that Travis Barker played on and I guess helped produce. So let's just do it. So the album is called Tickets to My Downfall, which I think is pretty cool and creative. I like that. The album art looks dope, like the pink guitar. So the first track is called Title Track. Let's check it out. Or not. Is it playing? Is it gonna play? What's happening? Technical difficulties, fabric of our lives. What is wrong with me? All right, let's do this. Title track. I like the acoustic part. Okay, cool intro. I like it. I like how it. That was a classic Travis Barker. Classic Travis Barker drum fill intro thing. Gotta love Travis. Even if you hate him, I mean, the dude is a solid drummer. That intro was sweet. It made me feel that like emotional side of pop punk, which is what I love. Oh. Like that lead. All right, so far, I think it gives me the early 2000s pop punk vibe, as well as like 2010 era kind of pop punk. I always called it like indie pop punk, stuff like the band Fireworks. It's like a mix, which I guess kind of makes sense because Machine Gun Kelly looks like he's a young dude, kind of, or at least a generation younger than Travis Barker, and Travis was kind of in the early 90s. The 90s punk and pop punk, and in the 2000s pop punk, obviously, is when Blink kind of started to take off, late 90s or whatever. This song actually reminds me of Violent Soho, Covered in Chrome. My band Life is Short, we did a music video kind of inspired by that video. That's what it reminds me of. Very cool. Oh! That chorus there, it does like the tickets to my dun 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 do ga do do ga do. It like kind of doesn't change tempo. You know, it goes from like halftime do do ga do 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 ga to like normal time do ga do do ga do ga. Some people point out in the songs I write and the covers that I do, when I do that, they always call it like a tempo change, and I'm always confused because I'm like, that's like a classic thing to do, especially in pop punk. But I feel like just in music in general, that's like not an uncommon thing, and it kind of always confuses me when people say that. Anyways, just wanted to point that out. I think so far this title track, I mean, when it kind of kicked in, it was definitely more punk, but I think the song in general so far leans more towards the pop side. Just my opinion. Nothing wrong with that. I like it. It's good. Chorus. Again, the Travis Barker fills, man. Gotta love him. Gotta break it up. Classic pop punk. Pop punk lead. There's the chorus again. I mentioned that like tempo change thing. I know it's not what it's actually called for musicians out there, but just to make it simple, that the tempo change thing that they're doing in the chorus, I do wish right there that they would have just kept it in halftime. Dun, dun, tickets to my dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I mean, it sounds good both ways. I don't think it makes or breaks the song, but picked it up. Oh, okay. I like that ending. Different. Little acoustic outro. I'm liking the album so far. Track 1. All right, let's go to track 2 called Kiss Kiss.
I am retired and open that
ads, bro. 3 ads so far. 4 ads. I only listened to 1 song so far. Jesus Lordy. Okay, here we go. Second track is called Kiss Kiss. Okay, so far the vibe I'm getting is more old Fall Out Boy. Kind of got that Under the Cork Tree vibe mixed with that 2010 pop punk. So far, more leaning towards like the pop rock kind of thing. Awesome groove. I'm an idiot. So this chorus reminds me more of, I think, the last Fall Out Boy album I ever even checked out. What was Infinity on High? Remembering the names of songs and albums and stuff like that, it's... Anyways, this chorus gives me the vibe of that Infinity on High, which I think was when they were really steering away from pop punk. Not much on that album was pop punk, in my opinion. Man, you know, I wouldn't expect anything less that Travis Barker is on. I keep mentioning him. I must be a fanboy or something. But the production of this album is awesome. The recording quality, obviously, is really good, in my opinion. But the actual, focus. Like, production, like, where the kind of instrumentation, the chord progression, like, the extra vocals and, like, little instrumental, like, stabs and stuff like that. Really good. So far, I'm digging it a lot. Ugh. Travis. I don't know if it's like his choosing or if it's like someone else. That drum fill right there, he has like a phaser on it or a flanger or something, and just seems to be doing that a lot. I kind of wish he would like... When I hear it lately, I'm just kind of like, ugh. Yeah, if that was the first track that I heard off of this album and I didn't see anybody talking about it in like pop punk groups, I would say just from that track alone, the second track, that it's more pop. Still a pretty good track. I dig it. I'm still young, wasting my youth. I'll grow up next summer. Okay, I see the rap vibe coming into. There's like that cicada hi-hat thing going on, you know, like the... Cool. Yeah, and then it leads right into the live drums. I kind of like when stuff like that is thrown in, just to kind of like change it up. Me being probably a little old school, I think I like more of the live instruments, but I like when stuff like that's added in because it just, you know, it changes it up. Okay, they brought that like hip hop type hi-hat back in. Is this the chorus? Yeah, that was the chorus. Again, this track as a whole, if this was the first track I heard, I would definitely say pop, maybe not like bubblegum kind of pop, but like pop rock kind of thing. I hear the hip hop vibe, but I wouldn't say pop punk. I wouldn't say pop punk. Okay, track 4, Bloody Valentine. This has a music video. Okay. Who is that girl? Oh, Megan Fox. I had the biggest crush on Megan Fox in the first Transformers movie. She still looks fantastic, by the way. If this was the first track that I heard, I wouldn't say pop punk. Pop rock, if I had to pick a genre for this song. I guess you gotta have Megan Fox in short XLs, I guess. Megan, let my guy go, man. Where's this going? Got them all tied up. Oh, jeepers. Sex definitely sells. Had to throw the Megan Fox foot shot in there. A lot of people talk about that Cardi B song, WAP. It's like a marketing play. I think that's kind of where they're going with this video. But the WAP video, you do this like shock value thing, and usually when it's like dirty sex things, like things that you don't really talk about, you put it out there, and sometimes it's hit or miss, but if it hits, good or bad, people are talking about it, and that's what really gets it out there. Again, with the flanger on the drums. Jeez, oh man. It's not too often, believe it or not, that I sit in my studio like this and with a good sound system and listen to music. Not as much as people probably think, because I tend to listen to music passively. I try and keep it that way just so I can, as an artist, like as a musician, as original as possible. So it's really cool to hear all the production moves that they're making. This isn't an album that I don't think I would go back so far and reference any like production tricks or anything. The phaser or the flanger on the drums, like that's already been done twice. I mean, it sounds sounds good. As a fan of punk rock in general, as like a blanket genre, it's kind of hard to step out of the taboo things you do when making punk music. You know, you like expect more, you want to hear more, but then when stuff like this happens, you're just like, man, like, why didn't you push the limits a little bit? I just realized he's singing Nanas. The Nanas thing already kind of got ruined for me because of Blink, but then because Travis is on this record, I'm just like, dude, I hate being negative, but what? I mean, Lalas maybe? I don't know, at least change it a little bit. Like, I guess this was their single off the album. I can see why. Definitely more pop. There's not even much trace of pop punk in it, but still a good track. I'm on the fence about it. I mean, if I never heard it again, but I also wouldn't mind if it came on. It's not a track that I would put like in a personal playlist or something like that. But geez, oh man, having Megan Fox in your music video, that's pretty cool. If Travis Barker's producing your album, why wouldn't you have Megan Fox in your video? Hey! Okay, track 5, Forget Me Too. Little acoustic intro, that's just like setting it up for an anthem style song. There's some punk rock. There's that anthem drum beat. They switched they sped it up there. They went from halftime to normal time. I don't know. I don't understand why people say there's too many tempo changes when they're listening to my stuff. Drives me crazy. Minor 4. She has a cool voice. This reminds me of, what is that Set Your Goals song? The Few That Remain. I like when they mix guy and girl vocals like that. Wish they would do some harmonies together though. There we go. Classic Travis Phil, gotta love it. Track 5 is pretty cool. So far I like 5 and 1. I'd have to listen to them back to back again to see which one I like better. So track 6 is All I Know, featuring Trippie Redd. Okay, they had that cool, like, sad pop punky intro. They brought back that, like, hip hop cicada kind of like. I call it cicada because it always does like that. Sounds like a cicada. Why am I talking? I think if this track fits in pop punk anywhere, a lot of times pop punk bands or even punk bands will do like a mid-tempo or like a slower kind of song that's not really punk, but because they did it, it's like, you know, if it's like a good track, like the scene will kind of vibe with it, you know what I mean? Again, if this was like the first track I heard without seeing what anybody said on the internet, I wouldn't really classify this as pop punk. Wait, where do I know those lyrics? All I know is I don't know nothing. Operation Ivy. All I know is I don't know nothing. This chorus is mellow, but it's not like underwhelming. Like it makes you feel at home, like I feel like a chorus usually should. Gives you that the biggest vibe of relating to the song is usually like the chorus part, you know? There's that cicada hi-hat again. I think, you know what? I feel dumb now. I didn't realize this before, but I haven't checked out any of his other stuff, but allegedly he was a rapper. Right? All of his other albums were like hip-hop before, so I guess he's kind of either transitioning, we'll see where his next album goes, or he's mixing both, which, you know, I think that's cool, like trying something. I wouldn't say like mixing rap with like a rock thing is new, but, you know, he's kind of just pushing his limits a little bit and just seeing where it goes, so very cool. Kudos to that. So on that bridge, there's like the 808 sound, like that rap, like the low sub bass, like if you have a subwoofer in your car or something, you hear like the boom, boom. That's cool. I like that. There's a lot of hip hop that I like just because of the bass. I like to feel that in your chest. It's not anything groundbreaking, but I like that a lot. Oh, and it fades out. Okay, so it wasn't the bridge. That was like the outro part. So the next song is track 7, Lonely. Little acoustic intro again, especially with Travis's drums. It definitely has a Boxcar Racer vibe. This is another one of those tracks that if I heard it first, I wouldn't say pop punk. When a pop punk band will have a slower song or two on an album and you still kind of vibe with it because you like the band. That bridge part with the marching snare kind of thing, I'm surprised that they didn't put flanger on the drums again. I'm glad that they didn't. Yeah, I mean, ending with the vocals, that's, you know, I mean, I think a lot of people in the pop punk scene associate that with with the Blink self-titled album. I mean, it's cool. If he was going for a pop punk thing, I would like to see the boundaries of the genre pushed a little bit more instead of just settling for like ending with vocals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, this is in 6/8. I don't know how I didn't realize that till the end of the song, but.
His umbilical cord was stuck around his neck. I don't know what it was, but he had
oh, geez. That little outro there, that someone, I don't know who it was, they were talking about someone's kid was born and the umbilical cord was wrapped around the child's neck and he unwrapped it. That's intense. I'm a dad. I've only had one kid and luckily we didn't have any problems at birth or even really after, but man, that's a scary thing. You'd really have to be okay with putting yourself out there, I think. Putting it on an album or your album. I'm not sure who that was, but. Okay, next track is World War III. Very pop punk, little synth. I gotta say, this is probably the punkest track that I've heard so far on this album. I like it, it's good. I've never been a huge fan of like the synth and pop punk. I'm usually indifferent about it. Like if it's there, I'm like, okay, cool. If it's not, I probably wouldn't miss it. Okay, next track number 9, Kevin and Barracuda, Interlude. It's not a song, I guess. When I was a kid, before I even started playing music, there was like hip hop albums. They always had these like skits and interludes and stuff like that. I wonder if that's kind of where, you know, like he's still kind of, if that's, I don't know what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope so. Please keep watching. Skits on albums. It's been a long time since I've actually heard one. They were always very hit or miss for me. Like sometimes they would be like funny or cool, but a lot of times I ended up just skipping them on the album, which is kind of a shame.
I agree. Grab the sack. We gotta leave Earth, man. Don't forget, bring the weed.
That's pretty funny. This is track 10, Concert for Aliens. Maybe that's why there was that interlude in there. Maybe this has something to do with this track. That would be pretty cool. There's a music video, so let's watch this music video. Okay, if this was the first track that I heard, not knowing anything about this dude, I would say this track is pop punk. At least it started off this way. Let's continue. Listen to that clean guitar lead. Oh my god, this is like take off your pants and jacket type stuff. I like it. Oh, I thought they were gonna go back into the refrain, like the intro part on that, but they didn't. He said, "Hey, Moose, focus your camera first of all." Oh my god, why can't I do this? I always have so much trouble with the focus, and I work so hard on it, and then I put the footage on my computer, and it's like blurry. Sorry. I thought they were gonna go back in the refrain for that, but they didn't. They went in the second verse. The refrain, like the intro part. Love that bass guitar sound. Whew. Yeah, this is definitely more pop punk, I would say. You know, if I'm just hanging out and someone has a playlist on, and this song came on, like they were like, "Hey, I'm gonna play my pop punk playlist," and then this song came on, I wouldn't question it. That little solo, it reminded me of like 90s pop punk, like kind of a, I don't mean as in like a negative way, but like a shitty guitar sound like that. It was pretty cool. I'm not really a fan of guitar solos though, like even with like the most insane guitar player, like classic rock and roll maybe, just like stuff that like my dad listens to. They just have these like 32 bar, like 5-minute guitar solos and it's just like, dude, come on, man. I usually just like them like real catchy, to the point, and then bam, it's out and you're just like, what happened? I'll stop talking. It's so cool when they put like little behind the scenes stuff like that at the end of a video. Like, you know, I know nothing about this guy, but he seems like, you know, he's cool and he's fun. So he's having fun doing what he's doing. And sometimes, you know, when people were negative about someone's album or something, it's like, you see that side of him and you're like, you know, he's an artist. He's like, that's what came out of him. Like, that's what he was feeling at the time. Like he's just being an artist. And I think sometimes people don't realize that or just forget about it. And it's, you know, kind of brings the human side back into what he's doing, you know. Yo, dude, thank you so much for checking out part 1 of my reaction video to Machine Gun Kelly's album, Tickets to My Downfall. Make sure you look out for part 2, maybe even part 3 or 4, because this album has 21 tracks on the deluxe version. So in the meantime, I have some buttons right here on the screen that you can tap or click to check out other videos that I've done, covers, and hopefully some originals soon too as well. So yeah, how exciting. Who cares?
All right.